Well, good evening, everybody. I wanted to step in here and let you know about a tornado warning that has just been issued from the Weather Service for portions of southeast Texas. It's northern Waller County. It's right on the leading edge of this line of thunderstorms. See where we've got just that little bit of the hot colors and the cool colors coming together here. Northern Waller, far northwest Harris County. This is going to move into Montgomery County near the Magnolia area over the next few minutes. So folks in the Magnolia area, Mauston to Montgomery to Conroe, perhaps right along the western area of Highway 105 in western Montgomery County. Those are the areas that are inside that purple box, and that's our tornado warning in effect till 11:30 this evening. It is quite common to have small, very small tornadoes fire off right on the leading edge of these strong lines of thunderstorms. This one's racing to the northeast at about 35 miles an hour, so it will come and go very quickly. But again, that area will be warned, southwestern Montgomery County, until 11:30 this evening. If you are in the path of this storm, you want to take cover on the first floor, interior room of your home or office or wherever you are. Try to get away from windows with these small tornadoes like this and the straight line winds that we've got with that line. It's most likely that broken glass and some flying debris could cause injury. So again, first floor, interior room, as much of the structure around you as you can, and away from windows in south and west Montgomery County, as that little spot right there, Highway 290 right there in Waller County, northwest Harris County, will race into Montgomery County, and that's the system that has been warned until 11:30. Here's a closer view of where that storm is tracking from Waller now to near Pinehurst and Montgomery and into southwest Montgomery County here over the next half an hour to 45 minutes. Again, it's all part of this long area of thunderstorms that's racing east at about 30-35 miles an hour. For everybody else, here's the timing on the storm system. Reaches Conroe by 11:29, downtown right around midnight tonight, 11:58, Liberty by 12:42, League City 12:43, and then as we head into 1 a.m., 1:30, that's going to race east and out of our area. So there's the latest tornado warning in southwest Montgomery County for the Montgomery area in particular until 11:30. We're going to jump off the TV side here. We will continue live on the digital and social sides. You can get us live on Facebook, on KHOU.com. You can get us live on KHOU's Twitter page as well. Right now, we're going to jump there, and we'll break in again if we were to get more updates. I'm ready. Oh, okay. All right, guys. We're live. Good evening, everybody. We wanted to give you an update on this line of thunderstorms racing across the area right now. There's one spot on the line right here, northern Waller County, a little spot where northwest Harris and Waller County come together out 290. Right there, radar indicates a little bit of rotation with that part of the line right on the leading edge. It's racing northeast at about 35. It's going to move into southwest Montgomery County here in the next few minutes. Weather Service has gone ahead and warned for it. There's a tornado warning southwest Montgomery County until 11:30. And we're just going to continue our diagnosis of the storm here, scoping it. So this is the Doppler part of Doppler radar. We can look inside the storm. There might be a little bit of rotation right here, right where those hot and cool colors are coming together. Let me get a little closer view of that for you. And this is very common with these lines, these squall lines of thunderstorms, to get these little rotations right along the leading edge. Yeah, there's a little bit of rotation right there near Magnolia. If you're in the Magnolia area, you need to take cover. Interior room of your home, away from windows, lowest floor of the home or business. That's the safe place to be. I've seen stronger signatures, so that's indicating rotation right there is what we've got. The The green, the cool colors moving away from the radar site, the hot colors moving toward the radar site. The radar site's in League City down here. And so that tells us that we have a little tight rotation right there. A little tornado is possible, if not likely, right near Magnolia, far northeast corner of Waller County. And then there's the Waller-Magnolia County line, Montgomery County line, excuse me, near Magnolia. And there the radar just updating. So again, you can see we still have outbound winds here, inbound winds here, right near Magnolia, right on the corner there where the county lines come together, where you've got Waller, Grimes. That's right near Dobbin. I know where that is. Let me zoom in on that. So folks watching us from Dobbin. Yeah, there's Todd. Oh no, that's south of Dobbin. There's Navasota. Dobbin's right in here. Dobbin, you're getting a good thunderstorm right now. There you are, Dobbin. Dobbin and Bobville. It's south of you guys, right there. I'll zoom out and we'll scope this again. So again, folks in southwest Montgomery County near Magnolia, you're under a tornado warning for about the next 20 minutes. I'll put the scope back on this and show you exactly the spot we are looking at. There it is. Yeah, it's showing up pretty good. So again, this is Doppler radar looking inside the storm, and the radar can see which way the raindrops are moving, either toward the radar site or away from the radar site. And when you get these hot colors here moving away from the radar, these cool colors here moving toward the radar, and they get very close to each other, that's called a couplet. And that indicates rotation. And so we've got counterclockwise rotation right there inside of the low levels of the storm. And that is what we call a radar indicated tornado. Whether or not it's actually producing a tornado, we don't know. We won't know unless someone sees it or we know we've got damage there, and we don't have that information right now. But this is our early warning, the way we early warn for these tornadic thunderstorms. So again, right there near Magnolia, there's your rotation. It's moving northeast. So here's Lake Conroe, Highway 105 right in here. So it's south of Highway 105, south of Montgomery, right near the Magnolia area. And again, this is a tornado warning in effect until 11:30. And I've got, there we go, there it is boxed off. So here's your tornado warning box, that pink box, until 11:30 for about the next 20 minutes. And you can see that's a very intense part of the line. See the lightning? That's a good indication that you're getting very intense convection, up and down motion through the storm. And with the active jet stream up overhead that we've been watching, this is one that has tapped into all that available energy, and now it has kicked off a pretty good rotation. So again, that's racing through northeast Waller County right now. It will move into Montgomery County here in the next few minutes. And so folks in that box in southwest Montgomery County, you are urged to take cover, interior room of your home, away from windows. Flying glass and flying debris is the greatest threat from these small tornadoes. These are usually small ones that develop right on the leading edge of these lines. But they can come and go very quickly, and they can come and go with very little warning. That's why it really helps to have Doppler radar. So once again, here's an updated scan, and what is there is now a little bit less defined. And this is one that may have come and gone very quickly. If there is a rotation, it's right here where those red colors right here and the green colors right here are indicating counterclockwise rotation. That would be, if we've got a tornado, it's there near Magnolia. So again, the Weather Service has put out a tornado warning. It will be in effect until 11:30 for another 20 minutes for southwest Montgomery County. There we just got another volume scan update. That couplet appears to be falling apart. And quite often these tornadoes on these squall lines, these line of thunderstorms we have coming through, will spin up very quickly right on the leading edge and come and go just as quickly and come just as quickly as they go. And you may get very little warning. So just to remind you and set your bearings, all of southeast Texas is under a tornado watch. So that's the entire yellow area that we are surrounded in here. That means that we can see that the ingredients are all there that could produce a tornado, a tornadic thunderstorm. And that means you need to be at the ready to take action in case a warning is issued for your area. And so that's what's happened in South Montgomery County. We've had to upgrade that watch to a warning because right along the leading edge of that line, right in here, we've got a little bit of rotation showing up on radar. Let me clear that. And Erica, if you get any reports of any damage out there, let me know.
Okay, deal. Yeah, I believe my mic is on. So what I'm doing, I'm here on just to the right of David Paul, and I'm monitoring social media. So if you guys have any specific questions, any storm reports, we would love to get any storm reports. But we hope you guys are all safe out there.
Yeah.
And if you're in this area, make sure you're really listening to where these warnings are surrounding your neighborhood, because they could be dangerous and quickly moving, and we're watching this. So again, I'm on our Facebook live feed, and right now, David, people are really just giving us some reports if they're starting to hear the thunder in their area. Folks close to I-45 or along 290. Anyone along 45, I mean, you are barely starting to hear the storms that are going to continue to push east as the night progresses.
And there's that line. Hello, everybody along I-45. It's getting close to you in, I want to say Kingwood, the Woodlands, Conroe, Huntsville. There's a leading edge right there on the north side of I-45. I think overall we're getting a little lucky that so far this evening it's only been one spot that's shown rotation with that tornado warning in southwest Montgomery County, including the Magnolia area, until 11:20. I expect with a line like this to see quite a bit of moderate straight line winds, 40 to 60 mile an hour gusts that could knock down a small limb and that could knock out power. So I think we're going to get a lot of sporadic power outages this evening. But I think we're going to get away with it, and that'll be the worst of it. And one of the things, we've got a little bit of a bow to that line. That indicates pretty good straight line winds. The line itself is racing east at almost 40 miles an hour, so you're going to get some 40 mile an hour wind gusts at a minimum with that. The winds are changing direction at low levels from southeast to west as that line comes through. So we've got a change of direction in winds with height. That's that wind shear, vertical wind shear, adding a little twist to the atmosphere. But that line it's a good line of thunderstorms, but that's the type that maybe gives us one or two bad spots, and that's about it. I hope that's the way it pans out. And any social media updates you want to pass on our Facebook, and you're on KHOU's Facebook page, right?
Correct.
Right, so Erica's sitting right here. She's on the Facebook page. Your reports, any reports you have, anything about what the rain's like where you live, we would love to see. Just post it on Facebook right now. That really helps us have eyes on the ground. You guys at home really become our eyes on the ground as to what exactly is happening. We have all this wonderful equipment here, radars and satellites, and we can look down and around with it, but having actual reports from you guys on Facebook is wonderful and needed information. So any reports, how heavy is the rain, how are the winds where you live, post them on KHOU's Facebook page right now, and you would be really helping us out. This is the, again, looking inside the storm, the Doppler, part of Doppler radar. I don't see any couplets here. I don't see anything. I see a lot of straight line winds, but I don't see any twisting couplets right now. So hopefully that little storm has weakened. You know, that being said, I mean, maybe there's a little bit of a twist right here. If there is, it's not very well defined. And on the leading edge of a line of storms like this, that's about what I would expect to do. So they've already updated this. They've cut out the part in Waller County. That's the spot right there. That you're going to be having some very strong wind gusts here. A little closer, right near Pinehurst. So here's Highway 249 up in Montgomery County. So right along Highway 249, Pinehurst, Magnolia. That's where you're getting some gusty wind right now. You want to be inside and let that storm pass. It shouldn't last long. This is going to race through very quickly, but the winds could be strong enough to knock out power, maybe a little a tree limb down, and again, the possibility of a very brief, short-lived tornado. Quite often, the ones that form on the leading edge of that line don't ever touch the ground, but they touch treetop level, and that can do quite a bit of damage, knocking over trees and power, especially if you live there.
So again, on social media, I haven't really had any reports of any damage quite just yet, but Felix did let us know that he's now seeing lots of strong winds out in Conroe and the Caden Creek area. So thanks, Felix, for your storm report. If you guys have any storm reports, I'm here trying to monitor and see what's going on and what you guys are seeing in your area.
I love that. So thank you so much for that. That was Felix, Caden Creek.
Yep, and high winds and rain now in Tomball. Susan's giving us that report.
Yeah, here we
go.
Also,
wind, heavy rain, and lightning out in Montgomery right now from Amanda Cook.
So that's why this is so great. You give us the report, I can zoom in on the radar. So here it is, and there's your very gusty wind on the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms, Conroe, Magnolia. That report of getting gusty wind in Tomball, absolutely. Probably have a little bit of a gust front racing out ahead of that line.
Ooh, Tiffany just reported that her power's out in Katy right now.
Oh, really, Tiffany? Let's see what it looks like in Katy. Thank you, Tiffany. Yeah, and it's all happening right on the leading edge. There are the storms racing into Katy.
Same thing out in Huntsville right now. Beverly letting us know that her power's out in Huntsville. So basically the moral of the story is if you're tuning into this and if you're east of Montgomery, if you're east of Huntsville, anywhere east of this line, folks are losing their power. So you're going to want to, prepare for that, at least mentally. It's probably too late to try to charge your cell phones last minute, but so just a heads up.
Really helpful information. So here's the leading edge. So you can expect some spotty power outages here in the next few minutes. Katy, Cypress, Tomball, Conroe, Montgomery, Mount Zion, and Huntsville's right up in here in Huntsville. You are all the neighborhoods on the leading edge of a very active line of thunderstorms. And the amount of lightning strikes in here has begun to expand and accelerate. So a lot of lightning indicates up and down motion in the storm. And because there's so much wind energy with this, the down motion part of that can transport those strong winds down to the surface. And that's why we're getting these power outage reports, Erica.
Yep, yeah, a lot of them are coming in for that area right now. Folks are saying that their lights are just flickering. It's starting to pick up and escalate quickly. And the good news is that once it passes, it's going to be quickly moving, and then we're done. So you just got to hang in there for the next, would you say, about 30, 45 minutes, give or take what part of this area you're actually located in, and then it'll be gone before you know it. But we are getting a lot of reports of those power outages, high winds out in Magnolia right now. That report's coming in from Chris. So yeah, let us know what you guys are seeing and hearing outside.
Those reports really help. Thank you. So the line of storms itself, the bad part, if you look, I've drawn this in here, is about 30 miles wide. And that line itself is moving east at about 35 miles an hour. So once it arrives, it should last less than an hour, the bad part, and then race on through. So far, no reports of any significant flooding. That's a lot of lightning, Conroe to Huntsville. North side of Lake Conroe, up there in the Piney Woods, in the Sam Houston National Forest. You're getting some heavy rain up there. Huntsville, Walker County getting wet. So Livingston, Cleveland, Spring Woodlands, Kingwood, downtown Houston, there you are. Sugarland, there's Needville. So we're all getting close to getting our turn of that line of storms coming on through. And you can expect now, because we've got these reports coming in of lights flickering, a few power outages. And this tornado warning, I just want to check and see if it's even still in effect.
Looks like we just had a severe thunderstorm warning issued. So let me look into that on.
I was able to pop it up here. It's still in effect till 11:30.
Okay.
And so this is what prompted us to break on in here, is that this spot right here, southwest Montgomery County, there's Magnolia, Highway 249 comes on out up here. This spot, this little storm was showing rotation a little bit ago.
If you zoom out, David, you can see the how large the severe thunderstorm warning that was just issued, and that's until midnight. So we got 30 minutes that we'll be watching this area with this line of heavy storms moving through.
Can you see what Erica was mentioning here? See the orange box right here? So this is sort of a preemptive strike right along and ahead of that line of thunderstorms. So everybody here, North Harris County, Montgomery County, moving into San Jacinto, Walker County, you're basically next on the list for that line of storms to race through. It's the northern side of the line that is strongest and has most of that lightning and thunder with it. So far, no reports of any type of tornadic damage. So far, just the power outage reports, a few limbs down. We've had some small hail, and so far that's been the worst of it. And let me zoom out. I'll clean all this off, and we can put this in motion so you can find your spot on the map here. And I'll put this in motion.
All right, so I'm on social media. If you guys are just tuning in, this is meteorologist Erica Lopez on the side of David Paul, and I'm monitoring social media and also keeping in tabs with the National Weather Service with all their reports coming in. So let us know what you guys are hearing. Let us know what you're listening, what's going on in your neighborhood. Your storm reports are awesome, and they really help us out to tell the weather story. If you're tuning in from Houston and you're wondering, hey, nothing's going on in my neighborhood, I've had some folks comment about that. It's because it hasn't reached your neighborhood just yet. So this line of storms is still pushing eastward. So approaching the Katy area at the moment. So Houston, we still have some time until it gets to our neck of the woods. It'll be another 30 minutes or so before you hear the rumble of thunder start to move through.
So this is something I like to do. It's really basic storm scanning and meteorology. How fast is that line moving? So this is an hour loop. It goes back 1 hour, and I'll put the leading edge of the arrow right there on the leading edge of the storm, and then I'll take it to where the leading edge is an hour later. About 35 miles. It's moved 35 miles in 1 hour. So the line is moving 35 miles an hour, moving pretty quickly. One of the reasons why it's not a big flash flooding threat, because it's not sitting on us, it's going to race through here. So what I can do is take that a step further, and this will help you time when this is going to arrive in your area at Spring, Kingwood, Houston, Sugar Land, Pearland. Let's take a look at all this. So we know how fast it's moving, 35 miles an hour. We'll clear that off. And then this is another one of the tools that we have, our storm tracker. I'm going to put this on the latest image. And I'm going to program in that the storms are moving at 35 miles an hour. And we will set a mark here and right on the leading edge. And let's see what we come up with. Okay, so here's the timing of the leading edge of that line of thunderstorms reaching where you live. Spring reaching you guys by 11:43, North Harris County. Downtown Houston right at midnight. Liberty 12:45, Texas City a little after 1 in the morning. Galveston about 1:30 in the morning. Beaumont 2 a.m. That's the timing of that line. We know the speed, we measured it. It's moving east at 35. Program that in, put out our storm track, and there it is. Again, Spring 11:45. Of course, that would include the Woodlands. Houston, downtown, midnight, so the Houston Heights. Liberty, so Mont Bellevue, Anahuac, Liberty, Dayton, Baytown, right around 12:45, leading edge reaches you. Texas City, Lamarck, Hitchcock, around 1:10, 1:15 in the morning. Galveston, 1:25, Beaumont, 2 o'clock. That is the timing. I'm going to save that. That'll be good for another few minutes. We'll save that image.
We have our first storm report of a tree limb that are down out in Tomball right now, coming out from Jenny Fuentes. So thanks for that storm report, Jenny.
Thank you, Jenny. So some tree limbs down. I wonder how big they are. Does she say how big they are?
Not yet. I did just ask her. So let us know, Jenny.
And any pictures.
Yes, but that squall line is barely moving through Tomball. So Jenny, wait until it moves through and then grab us some pictures and we will love you forever.
Thank you for the report, Jenny. Really appreciate that. Updating the scope. I don't see anything tornadic at the moment on the leading edge. Maybe something spinning a little bit near Willis. But that doesn't look very convincing. I have a feeling they're going to let that tornado warning from Montgomery County go. I don't see any structure there anymore, Erica.
Let me.
What are we? We're 11:28 right now, so maybe a couple more minutes.
Quickly, Montgomery County base velocity.
Once again, here's the timing on the line coming on in. It reaches Spring, Woodlands 11:45, downtown midnight, Liberty, Dayton, Anahuac, Mont Belvieu, Baytown around 12:45, Texas City, Lamar, Hitchcock 1:10, Galveston 1:25, Beaumont 2 a.m. And so here's the leading edge of that line. Boy, it's a drive from Katy to Brookshire. That's how wide that line is, but it's a pretty mean one. So Weston Lake's getting hit pretty hard right now. Foster, Katy getting on the leading edge right now. I expect very gusty wind to 40 at least in Katy. Cypress as well. Jersey Village, folks on Highway 6, Addicts to Copperfield, Mission Bend, Pecan Grove, hadn't reached you yet, but it's not far off, about 15, 20 minutes away from you. Here's the northern end again, Conroe to New Waverly. Oh, you know, one thing I do want to look at are temperatures.
All right. Again, if you're tuning in from Harris County right now, Says just mentioned there's nothing going on in Harris County. The line hasn't approached Houston yet. Notice that it is, if you're tuning in right now, the line, actually David Paul just took it off the graphic.
Just real quickly, look at this. We've dropped into the 50s. Columbus and Brenham's also.
Oh, nice. There's the cold air.
That's the
Lots
cold
of
air.
folks are going to be excited about that.
That's that clash, the clash of air masses. Really warm, humid stuff here. There's that cold air coming in. That's the cold front coming in behind it. Okay, I'll get the radar back up for you.
Reports of power out in Cypress right now. Emma's tuning in from Cypress.
Hey, Emma, thank you for the report. So that's in the severe thunderstorm box, and the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. So no more tornado warning at the moment. Just strong thunderstorms coming to the north side. So from Katy to Tomball to Spring to Conroe up to Huntsville, you guys are right in the grinder right now of that line of thunderstorms racing through.
So Kara's just tuning in, and she asked, did you mention anything about rotation or about Willis?
Oh,
she just tuned in.
Okay, that's fine. So at the moment, I'll check on that. I didn't see anything near Willis that I was concerned about.
Okay.
Yeah,
maybe it was Waller that that we were talking about.
No, I mentioned Willis.
Oh, did you mention Willis earlier?
Right. She's absolutely right. She did. Good catch. No, I was just. This is what we do in the weather office. We get these line of thunderstorms. We just dig into them and scope them, and see if we can see anything that looks potentially dangerous.
Okay, Kimberly Rogers is asking, will it be strengthening or weakening as this system continues to push east?
That's a good question. I really think we're seeing what you see is what you get. I don't think it's going to strengthen much. I think we're probably going to get a few more warnings here and there. Maybe one or two more isolated little tornado warnings that are radar indicated. These are quite often very small tornadoes that do very little or no damage, sometimes don't reach the ground, but we warn for them to give you an early warning. I think what you see is what you get. We got a pretty good line of thunderstorms, lightning and thunder racing across the area. It doesn't last long, and behind it, temperatures are going to drop here pretty quickly. It's a good question.
Sydney has a good question also. We haven't really looked into this yet on the hail tracker. She's asking if there's any hail threat in the Tomball or Spring area, but we really haven't looked hail tracker to see if we're seeing anything right now.
Just looking at it, I don't.
The greatest reports, to answer your question, Sydney, that we've seen west of us have been pea-size hail reports.
Yeah.
So it shouldn't be a huge issue, really.
This type of line echo wave pattern is usually no hail or pea size. So hail tracker is on, and then nothing is showing up. So the answer to the question at the moment, hail is not a threat at the moment. Good question.
All right, so if you guys are tuning in and you've been wondering all night, where are the storms? Well, the squall line that we've been forecasting for the last several days is now pushing through, and temperatures are dropping behind this front. So once you deal with the stormy weather, it wakes you up. You'll be waking up to some cold temperatures behind it. Highs will only be in the 50s tomorrow. So if you guys have any storm reports out there, comment below. Let me know what's going on in terms of what's happening in your neighborhood. And if you have any photos, that's a plus also. Obviously take them very safely, but at the moment we're monitoring the possibility of some rotation that could be out there and just keeping a close eye on everything.
Yeah, it's a stormy night, but at the moment that's the worst of it. So real quickly I'll show you the winds and the temps, and then we're going to let you go, and we'll come back in here as we get closer to midnight. But this is what's happening. Temperatures are dropping significantly now. 50s, Brenham will be in the 50s pretty quickly. Columbus is 56 right now. That's the cold air coming in as that front sweeps through. So big changes are happening. And then the winds, at the moment, this is old data, because I know the winds out here in Columbus and Brenham have already shifted to the west. Ahead of it, it's still a very gusty south wind, but that wind shifts to the west as that chilly air comes in. One more quick look at the radar. And there it is, a stormy night across southeast Texas and Houston. At the moment, no active tornado warnings. You may see some sporadic power outages, maybe a few limbs down. We're gonna look at your comments and your storm reports, and we will come back in here just a little bit after midnight for an update as the line reaches the heart of downtown Houston. We'll take a break and we'll be back in about a half hour, 40 minutes.